Bungie is literally known for stealing content. Don't know why anybody is surprised that they ripped out half the game. Well, what do you mean by stealing content? Talk about taking it away. I mean, people have held that against them since they removed a bunch of raids and campaigns back in 2020. Miss Spyro Stars? Yeah. I... Man, do I really want to go down the rabbit hole of, like, sunsetting? I feel like we've already talked about it so many times. It's like, I don't even know if it's really even worth. It sucks to regularly get content paid for, taken away, or sunsetted season after season. It's nearly identical to theft. Okay, let's not go that far. I get your point, but, like, you're definitely over dramatizing.
This was shot in front of a live studio audience at twitch.tv/Sweatcicle.
Because let's be honest, if Red War was still in the game, you would not be playing that campaign. I think, dude, people just go too far with the whole sunsetting narrative. Yes, there are parts of the game that they should not sunset, like raid and dungeon content. And they should have never taken Outbreak or Whisper out of the game. That was a complete fucking throw as well. Did they rework it? Yes. And they brought it back. But let's be honest, you're not... I can't tell you, even when... Let's go back to 2020. And let's talk about when Curse of Osiris, Red War, and Warmind were in the game. I didn't know a single person that was ever replaying those story missions but me for stupid videos. Nobody is replaying the campaign. The campaign is usually something that you do once, and you don't replay it. It's crazy that an expansion launched, people are saying wait for the next update just because of how bad it is. Would you rather somebody lie to you and make sure to use code SWEAT in the Eververse store? I love this. Guys, I love running Caldera 400 times. Yay! Fun gameplay loop. Woohoo! Let's get hype about Destiny and spend money on silver so I can earn a commission. Is that what you want, bro? Is that what you want? I just don't understand the mindset. It's like, bro, okay, dude. Oh my god. I'm gonna crash out. It's like, I understand the frustration. Everybody is upset about sunsetting, but you need to be more specific instead of blanketing it over 90% of the shit that you're not going to play anyways. Would I love for them to just not sunset anything anyways? Absolutely. But at the same time, I could understand why they do it, because the game would literally be like 400 gigabytes if that was the case, right? People paid $40 for Forsaken and they took everything but the raid away. What the fuck are you smoking? Guys, I love running Caldera 400 times. Yay! Fun gameplay loop. Woohoo! Let's get hype about Destiny and spend money on silver so I can earn a commission. Okay, I'm skipping that. Again, I get your frustration, and we're on the same team, but you guys are overblowing this so hard. I don't know why the balls didn't go off. It might be because you did TTS at the same time. It tends to bug. The campaign is gone and the Tangled Shore is gone. That's all you're missing. It's not overblowing. It's pretty much theft from Bungo. Again, let's say this campaign is still in the game. Let's say theoretically this campaign is still in the game. How often are you playing the campaign? Please tell me. And don't sit there and fucking lie to me and say you're doing it every week. You're never going to go back and replay that campaign. It's the it's literally it's a mind concept. I'm not trying to argue for Bungie here. I'm being realistic. Cuz I don't like having shit taken away either. But it's literally just a mind thing. You're just upset about something being taken away from you. Even if you don't even if you aren't using it. And let's be honest, most of the value that you get out of buying an expansion, we both know you get the best experience when you play it when it's hot and fresh. When I pay $40 for Forsaken like 3 years later, if it was that price 3 years later, you're not going to get as good of an experience as you would have if you played it on launch in September 2018 for $40. You're paying for an experience. Like, that's just the way a lot of these games are now, especially this game. This is not new news. You're not, like, you're not paying to keep something forever. Eventually, the Destiny servers will shut down. I don't like that games are that way. Again, we're on the same team here, but that's what this game currently is, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, also to Matt's point on YouTube, people do realize there's a fine print in game that states that they can shut off the servers tomorrow and the money you put into a game can be lost at any time. Yes. They like, good luck trying to pursue anything legal. Like, it's I don't even know how to describe it better than that. I feel like that says everything that you need to about it. I'd rather they remove content for game stability and keep expanding, but it shouldn't include raids. Exactly the mindset that most people probably should have. Exactly that, but the problem is the inflow is not matching the outflow. That's the problem that I think people are really upset about, but a lot of people don't realize it because they're still upset about losing their Red War campaign back in 2020. There's a truth nuke for you. As a new player, all the expansions right now already took up so much time. I would hate to have to play even more of them. See, that's the even harder part is, bro, this is why I literally saw this. I'm just gonna say it. I saw this shit coming a mile away back in 2019. I've been talking about a D3 for 6 years, and nobody wanted to understand it until more recently. When you bring in new players, it makes the experience 10 times worse when they do have to catch up on everything. And at the same time, if they just keep adding more content to the game, that's more shit that they have to patch, that they have to balance, if they don't get rid of anything. It becomes an impossible task to try and balance everything. It legitimately does, which is why Destiny Infinitely Expanding is not good. A fresh start would not only allow them to balance things better, but it would put everybody on the same page. And it just, there's so many positives to it. It's not a truth nuke. These campaigns are really the only way to understand the story. How the fuck are players going to understand the significance of the characters without previous stories? Go to fucking youtube.com/bife. That's how you do it, bro. You don't show up to a new job and they fill you in on the last 8 years of drama in the office, bro. In like 3 hours. That's not how that works. I think, honestly, again, I don't, it sounds like I'm dick riding Bungie. It really does. But, like, you cannot expect them to try and explain 10 years of Destiny story to you in, like, 20 minutes. Figuratively, right? I don't understand, like, why people can't realize that. Hold on. I'll look at it in a minute. Because that's what they have the timeline reflection for. Is it's supposed to give you a brief synopsis of what the story is thus far. Does it do a good job? No. Have I been here for the entire decade and still have no idea what the fuck is going on? Absolutely. If you care about the story, go to a lore YouTube channel. I think you are being incredibly, like, naive if you expect to boot up this game for the first time and understand all the lore within even, like, a week. Because something like this is not going to do that. This gives you, like, a brief idea. But again, reading 2 paragraphs for every single year that this game has been out doesn't really give you the full picture. You just kind of have to do your own research. There's literally, I'd love for someone to try and, like, come up with some idea that would be better for players to understand the story, because I really don't think there is an option to do that. To understand a decade-old story in a short amount of time is not a realistic task to expect from a publisher like Bungie or a developer. And if they spent a bunch of time doing something like that, you know what else it does? It takes away from them being able to develop more things like dungeons and raids. That's exactly what it would do. New returning players need a good starting story to get into the free-to-play experience. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. If they're not keeping old/legacy content because of balance, they don't need to balance it. Just have it available for the sake of playing. Again, you're thinking logically, but the problem is it just doesn't work that way. Let's take, for example, Duality, the dungeon. Literally, when this expansion came out, people couldn't finish the dungeon because there was some random bug that popped up where if you hit the bell, it, like, kills you. They don't have a choice but to balance it if they keep it, because shit like that comes up. It's just... It's kind of like... How could I explain it? It's like, you go to work like an office job where you're, like, inputting data, but, like, let's say every month they give you, like, a new task to do, and you get your tasks every week, right? So eventually, like, in month 1, you have 1 task to do a week. Month 2, you have 2 tasks to do. Month 3, you have 3. And it just keeps adding. And the only way to keep up with that is to hire more people. And we both know that that is the opposite of what they've been doing. You can't win with people no matter what happens or what is done. People always have something to complain about. That is also true. Because there's always something you could be doing better. Do a lot of people operate from that mindset? Not necessarily, but people will never be fully satisfied. And I think at a certain point, they kind of just gave up on trying to make people super satisfied and just, like, obviously switched towards how much money can we make with microtransactions while still putting out the least amount of product possible. And they kind of, like, self-admitted to that in their game developer conference thing from 2022 that we talked about. Everybody talked about a million times. Just because people are complaining doesn't mean it's not true. Yeah, again, you're literally fighting ghosts. We're on the same team, bro. I'm not arguing against you. I'm just saying people need to have the holistic perspective instead of, you know? I don't know. It frustrates me when, like, I don't expect, like, people who are new to this game to understand everything fully, but, like, I really wish people would just be able to take a step back and realize the bigger picture on some things, especially sunsetting. Oh, man. Why couldn't things just be simple and we go back to Forsaken, huh? Why did they have to get greedy? People also feel like they have to start everything from the beginning. Now, for some things that is possible now because of the internet, but it wasn't long ago that the odds are when you found media you liked, you just had to start at the current place and go from there. Like for TV, you had to watch the current episode to figure out what was going on from context. If you were lucky, reruns. Yeah, it is interesting how media consumption has changed, especially in games. It's not greed. It's you have more resources as a game company, you start to experiment with other types of content that shift away from the community's desires. Well, it's been very obvious that they're trying to reach other markets, because for the past few years, they've been trying to reach Asian markets, especially with the mobile game coming out. But it's like, you can't completely, the problem, people are upset because the people that got them to where they were feel neglected. It would almost like, it would probably be, a good comparison would be like, if I just picked up everything tomorrow and never played Destiny again and just played Minecraft instead, a lot of you guys would probably be upset and wouldn't come back. Which is, like, if that's what I want to do, that's okay, but like, if I just completely disrespected all the people that got me to where I were, I can understand why people would be upset. Just as a big corpo company, they don't really give a fuck. You know? And people are still, even if they're neglected, there's going to be a good portion of players that still show up regardless. Minecraft Sweatcicle, I'm down. I mean, there will obviously come a day where I don't play anymore. Like, whether I don't want that to come, but you know, it's not gonna, this game isn't gonna last forever. That's why I've always said, like, you gotta kind of enjoy the good moments when we get them. YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the live channel for more content. And yeah. Okay, goodbye.